Hello everyone, welcome to the market outlook for the week. Gaurang, Shah here from Geojit Financial Services, and correction after correction is what we have witnessed post almost 12 days of the geopolitical uncertainty between Russia and Ukraine, and threats and counter allegations flying to and fro from both sides, and sometimes the external uh, countries and institutions also getting involved. That has led to an unprecedented spike in crude oil prices. $130 per barrel on Brent, $126 per barrel on NYMEX, and a case of concern for us definitely with both crude oil prices on the higher side, on the boil, if I may so, and weakness in the Indian rupee against the dollar. Fears of inflation, and of course uncertainty as far as the economic growth is concerned has surrounded the global markets. And it is not only that Indian markets are down and out world over post the aggression by Russia on the Ukraine, uh, has kind of created a lot of uncertainty, and people are still trying to work out in terms of is there any diplomacy approach left, and whether the resolution could be sooner rather than later. Uh, as I speak to all of you all, today is the uh, third talks that will be taking place between Ukraine and Russia. Remains to be seen how that evolves over a period of time. As I mentioned, boiling crude oil prices, weakening rupee against the dollar, and along with that, if I have to put in one more domestic event, that is the exit poll later this evening and the outcome of the state elections on 10th of March. I think we have a lot of things in our hand to take care. Our hands are full, and let's hope that there is peaceful resolution, and this does not evolve into a larger uncertain situation as far as the geopolitical situation is concerned. In these kind of times, friend, I remember the great teaching by the great investment guru that when there is no one needs to be careful in terms of differentiating between fear and greed. And today, as I speak to you, there is extreme fear on the street. And as per the teachings of that great guru, if there is extreme fear on the street, then you need to be a little bit greedy. And when there is extreme greed on the street, then you need to be fearful. So the current situation demands that uh, you need to have a little bit of confidence and approach the market and invest in quality stocks which have corrected. Uh, there is uncertainty undoubtedly about this situation, but is this going to prevail for a prolonged period of time? Well, I hope not. And with that expectation, I think wherever we are trending right now, as I speak to you, in fact, let me give you some levels. 52,500 on the Sensex, down about 1,800 odd points. 15,700 on the Nifty, down 500 odd points. Nifty Bank is at about 32,900, down 1,500 points. So we have corrected from the highs that we had seen of maybe 62,200 or thereabouts on the Sensex and 18,600 on the Nifty, and so on and so forth for the Nifty Bank. So I think when we see these kind of correction, it is time to possibly look at IT sector, banking and finance. I think that's something that you should look at. Metals and cement. Autos is a little bit uh, a hot plate right now. But having said that, I think there are still some bargain hunting that one can do in the auto sector selectively, of course, likes of M&M, Tata Motor, Bajaj Auto, TVS Motors, Ashok Leyland, Escorts Limited. On this, of course, we have fundamental coverage to name some stocks over here. Metals, I think two stocks, Tata Steel and Hindalco. I think that's where you should possibly look at. I'm giving out select few names because this is the opportunity. In times of crisis, you need to identify opportunities. And these are the opportunities where you can look at not going all out and buying 100%, but just nibbling into it 10, 15, 20% depending upon your risk appetite. Uh, I also feel that FMCG sector could see a bounce back. Of course, there is concern in terms of the rural growth and demand, but with the focus of government policies to enhance the output, agri output, I think, and of course, giving the right price for the produce, uh, for the agri produce. I mean, I think that's going to be something that you should look at. So you have strong names. HUL is there, Godrej Consumer, Tata Consumer. I think these are some of the good strong names. Marico, Dabur, that you should possibly look at. In the cement universe, I think given the highest capacity that is in place, Ultratech and possibly followed by Dalmia Bharat among the mid-cap names. Banking, I think ICICI Bank and State Bank of India should be there on your radar. So on all these are, let me tell you, these are all fundamental stocks which are covered by our research team. So please bear this in mind that this is not 1 week, 1 month, or 1 quarter kind of investment idea. This is long term, and by long term the definition is 12 months, 18 months and beyond. But, and of course in IT, I think TCS, Mindtree, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, Persistent Systems, L&T Technologies, Coforge, these are some of the names that you should look at. So there is a whole universe out there of stocks that you should look at. But my request to all of you is that have patience and remember one thing: investing in stock market is all about high risk, high return, and having long term patience, because that's always pays in the stock market as per my experience. I expect these times to be possibly uh, a history sooner rather than later, and hope that diplomatic talks and wisdom prevails upon the aggression which is currently going on in the global arena. With these words, I'll take your leave. Thank you very much for your kind hearing, and I'll see you again next week. But like I mentioned, I think when there is extreme fear in the street, it is time to be greedy and nibble into some, value hunting as far as investment ideas are concerned. And I've given at least a dozen full of stocks from different sectors. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.